Hello, welcome to Unapologetically Yours. This is your host, Melinda Dawn, and I am at the beach. And I can't stay because I got here too late, and I'm not sad. Am I sad? It's really good to acknowledge your true feelings, and that helps them to pass if they're negative. So when I pulled up, there were a lot of people. It was like paparazzi, and it's because there was a young couple. Today's their wedding day, and she was gorgeous. The dress, so stunning, definitely beautiful, and it put a smile on my face, and I absolutely wish them the best. And after I parked, I thought, man, I would love to just go talk to her real quick. I would love to influence her in a good way, a positive way. Like, to tell her a few of the mistakes I made. Kind of like, there's ants. Kind of like the beautiful friend of mine who sat me down at the church camp out. I'm hoping there will be less ants over here to tell me what kind of a wife, mom, not to be, kind of thing. Does that make sense? I talked about it recently. I wanted to tell her not to lose herself. Not to make it all about him, to remain who she is. And I don't mean don't grow. Oh, and I think I found where they're having their service. There's a hotel across the way. Of course you grow and you evolve and you change, but I don't want her, anyone, you fiancés out there, you single ladies who are going to get a ring put on it one day. I don't want you to do what I did. I don't want you to make it all about him, because you matter too, your desires, and you don't have to. You don't ever have to dim your light. You don't. That's right. Okay, I'm getting some amens up there. You do not have to dull your shine. You absolutely matter. You don't have to prove yourself to be the Proverbs 31 wife, perfect in every way. You can make mistakes and you can own them, and you can share your feelings and what you want. And I think, people always talk about how communication is the necessary thing in a relationship, especially in a marriage. And they talk about, expectations being sort of the downfall, but really it's unspoken expectations. And sometimes what happens is you each are different, right? As much as you might be alike, but you each are going to wake up each day with different thoughts of how you would like that day to go, or what you're looking for. And I think a key to success, a good practice, would be to talk about that, right? It's also a good practice to recap your day. That's just good for your brain. And it's also a good practice to but discuss or play in your mind, come up in your mind with the plan for the next day. This just solo for you. But having those conversations, not expecting him to be perfect either, allowing him to make mistakes. And then when you have children, you might find that it's so easy to give patience to your children and to love them and to, I don't know, just kiss their boo-boos and hold space. I use that phrase a lot, hold space for them not being perfect. And oftentimes we as wives don't hold that same space for our husbands. He's not allowed to err. He's not allowed to, I don't know, fall short of, your definition of manhood or of a provider. And, women, our thing in general, there's some who don't fall under this, category or whatever, but we have each other to talk to, right? And to discuss like all the things. And oftentimes men don't have that. They don't have those bonds with other men. They don't have that outlet, and it's hard for them. It's hard for them to stay strong, be strong, stand strong without the outlet. And they put a lot of pressure on themselves to fill certain shoes, and they may or may not always have the tools. The other thing I'll say for me in my marriage, something that has gotten in the way is my awesome ability to have all the answers. Unsolicited answers. And a couple months ago there was a conversation where I was informed basically not to try to fix him, which presumes that I think he's broken or that he thinks he's broken, and I refuted that. And I know it can be frustrating because sometimes you're just brilliant and you do have the answers and you do know the way out of it, and they don't want that. Sometimes they don't. And so another good practice is to ask, hey babe, am I a sounding board today? Are you open to another outlook? So another thing I feel like I made a mistake with is I know my over-optimistic self. I'm so quick to scratch the record of somebody else's negative talk and just try to get them to, I guess in essence, be like me or just think positively, and that for sure can be toxic. And I didn't give him the room to feel what he felt, to acknowledge those. I just, skimmed right over it, and that's not fair, and that definitely made it where it wasn't safe for him to tell me all of the things, because he could fear what my response is and have to prepare himself for that. And there's another part to what I was talking about in communication with my husband that I missed. Carried away with the emotion of it, and I wanted to add this piece. So another thing that I'm really good at is seeing the whole picture, all the different perspectives, and it definitely is married to the optimistical outlook, the silver lining perspective that I bring. But in listening to my husband speak about what he experienced, what he was feeling, I often had to come back for another perspective, another option, another possibility of the reality of the situation, and that was not helpful to him. It did not make him feel like I was on his side. And sometimes I really wasn't. Sometimes I was like, oh, you did what? You said what? You thought what? And in that, I was not a safe partner. And I'm working on that. We had a good conversation, and I'm not even gonna call it a conversation. He shared some things, and I think it was yesterday. And I did interject once for clarity so I could follow along and understand. But I didn't offer him a different perspective. I didn't jump in. I did ask if he was open to ideas, because he shared that he was out of them and he wasn't ready, and that's okay. So I just wanted to add that piece for full transparency. So, thank you. I'm in, what is it called? Like an express finder, like where I say the things out loud, right? An external processor. My husband's an internal processor. And I am very quick and swift and efficient. And he is gonna make it to the finish line more than the hare would, right? So the tortoise and the hare, I'm the bunny. I'm the rabbit. Except I'm not a jerk. No, I can be a jerk sometimes. I'll take a nap. I need naps sometimes. And he will make it to the finish line. He will also stop and pick me up and carry me over his shoulder to make sure that I too get to the finish line. And so, fighting, arguing, disagreeing, those things happen. If you're trying to win, though, you've already lost. If you're trying to win a fight, you're dead. Would you rather be right, or would you rather be married? Now, I have given credit for that statement told to my husband to somebody else. I thought it was like one of his parents that told him that. And he recently shared who it was, and I can't think of the person right now. Maybe one of his parents, maybe his dad said always find something to apologize for, so that's good. That's a good practice. Being married as a Christian, coming into the marriage as one, both of us, I wanted to make sure that he could never call me or consider me a nag. Oh. I guess I became one anyway. I'm thinking about, there's a lot of great cartoon stuff that's out there. It's like, you don't have to keep telling me every 6 months, to take out the trash. Take out the trash. It's a much better phrasing, and I don't have time to look it up. I mean, nope, I don't. Be you, pour into you, and also pour into your spouse. Absolutely. But definitely take care of you. And even if he doesn't say you're beautiful or pretty, or even if he does not continue to do the things that he used to do to win you, and let me just scratch what I was just about to say, tell his behind. But there's a way to do it. I think there's a better way to do it. There's a better way of, you never tell me this anymore. You never close your eyes anymore when I kiss your lips. I really love when you tell me I'm beautiful. That is a good way to say it. So another thing that happens, I have discovered with men, is they're allergic to questions sometimes, it feels like. And I probably want to have like an entire episode on this. But they're processing your question through their brain. And that system looks like, am I in trouble? That's one of the filters that they go through. Did I do something wrong? Does she already know the answer? What is she going to say? Because I don't want her to say this, so I need to be prepared to say this other thing. Sometimes my husband doesn't answer the question that I asked. He'll say something else. Like, I'll be like, oh, babe, what's the temperature outside? And he'll say the sky is blue. So then I'll say, oh, what color is the sky? Because I think if I ask the question that he answered, maybe he will answer the question that I asked. It doesn't often work. I try to make it a joke. You have to ask him if it lands or not. Patience, for sure, is required. And maybe you're the internal processor and your husband is the external processor, and you're like, what? Slow down. Give me time. I want to think about it, sit on it. I don't know. I am enjoying the breeze and I am considering what other things that I want to share with you. What else would I have told that bride if I could have just looked into her eyes? I would have told her, you're beautiful. You're stunning. And to keep taking care of herself. Okay, so like, I'm going to get back to that other piece. So definitely don't let days, weeks, months, years go by of you used to tell me these things, or you never tell me these things, right? But what I want to say is, you keep looking good, girl. You keep taking care of you, whether he notices or expresses it or not. I promise you, you will thank me. You will thank me. I think so. So you're welcome. I'll just say you're welcome now.
Check it out. We'll see who the price is.
The thing about that is, oftentimes our confidence comes from how we look, how we fit into our clothes. And when you don't continue to take care of yourself, which often is like a perfectly, I don't know if the word is symmetrical, but it's like it's correlational. Is that a word? I'm a poet, so I'll make up words. So, you know, like the graphs, you know, as one thing goes up, the other one goes whichever way it goes, right? And so there is a correlation between a woman letting herself go. But what I'm trying to say is, don't you let yourself go, because that will just feed into continued insecurity of your own doing and your own making. And that is not fair or right to you and for you. But have those conversations. Remind him gently, or encourage him, invite him, tell him the things that you love to hear, that you would like to hear. There are these there's like these trends where the wife will have flowers and other things, right? And the husband will come home and she'll shove all the things into his hands and close the door on him. And so when he walks in, he has the flowers that he just gave her. And so when she sees that, oh my gosh, it's so amazing. Oh, I love these flowers. Oh, you're so amazing. You know, you might try a trend or two. What else? What would I have told this new bride? I would have told her to protect her marriage. You cannot tell everyone your business, your ups and your downs. You can't. Certainly you need at least a trusted person. Maybe you need a couple trusted people, but I do not encourage or recommend that you bring a ton of family and a ton of friends and a ton of people into all the stuff that he does wrong, especially without telling them how he rectified it or whatever, because those people will hold judgments against him, perhaps lose respect for him, and then perhaps even steer you in a direction based on their insecurities and their relationship issues. And that is not what you want, and that is not what your husband deserves. What else? Encourage him, remind him. Express your appreciation for him. Tell him how good he looks, you know, when he's doing whatever yard work, or he comes home in his corporate suit. Make sure that you go on dates. Make it a priority. Definitely prioritize dates. And there are several theories out there, or several, I don't know, calculations, you know, so like every X amount of time, you know, every week have one date, every month make it a weekend getaway, every quarter, you know, or 6 months take a trip, you know, obviously depending on your budget. It doesn't have to be to a fancy restaurant. It could be a picnic in your backyard. But tell your man what you love, admire, and respect about him. And I am certain that that will go a long way. And now I'm going to put a caveat on here. This is in a healthy relationship. Christian or not, that piece doesn't matter, whatever your religion, non-religion. I'm not talking about abusive relationships. I'm not talking about narcissistic dynamics. God bless you. God swiftly protect you and hurry you into a positive relationship. I'm talking about two people who want their marriage to work and who are open to dialogue and open to making necessary shifts. I have had conversations, you know, in regards to parenting specifically, but it applies to marriage too. Like, isn't it good enough that I am better than the people before me? No, it's not. Don't set a low bar. Yeah, I would avoid the comparison traps too with other marriages, because you absolutely do not know what's going on behind the scenes, behind closed doors. From, you know, you likely get the highlight reel both on social media and in conversation. And I would say you definitely get the highlight reel when there is abuse involved. As the person is trying to, I don't know, put their best foot forward, face forward, trying to make it work. So don't believe the highlight. I mean, appreciate the highlight, congratulate the highlight, but there's a whole lot of highlights out there and a whole lot of low lights going on behind closed doors. So you never know. I would say don't invite the drama in. And then also, I'm going to tell you this other thing. There was a lot of stuff that I regret telling my husband about other people. You know, like, so husbands and wives often tell each other everything, right? You say what the best friend said and whoever said. But they're not you. And again, without the person hearing how things were rectified or made whole or made well, the person that you tell may hold judgment on those people and may not be able to overcome that. And you could be totally fine with the friend, right, that you were pissed off at, but once you heard her story, you know, you understood, you recognized that there was even a misunderstanding and you made amends. Well, now your husband don't like that person and doesn't want you hanging out with them, you know? Stuff like that. I'm not saying keep secrets. I'm making a face because some things probably do just go to the grave. That said, I tell my husband all the things that I say I'm never going to tell him. So, fill your cup first. Be open to receiving. That's our place as a woman, is to receive. And when we receive and out of our overflow, we can make beautiful things. We can magnify, you know, like we get a seed and we make a whole baby, you know? Love yourself. Definitely love yourself. And perhaps the things that are missing, that your spouse is missing, maybe you give those things to yourself and find a gentle way to encourage give him an opportunity to remedy it, you know? Trust him. I would say definitely make yourself a safe person for him. And, you know, regardless of your religion, I think prayer is part of a lot of, thoughts. You might be the only one praying for your husband. So, as you pour into yourself and you've got overflow, pour into him, pour into your children. Talk about parenting styles, man, before you even have kids, before you even get pregnant. Start watching parenting things. For real, get on the same page. Please get on the same page. Woo. I really gotta go. So, thank you for joining me on this impromptu, almost made it to the inside of the beach. I'm like right next to my car. I'm leaving, so I didn't pay for the parking. It's running. Somebody's in the car. No. I'm leaving. Nobody clocked this time that I... Anyway, what if me, being unapologetically me, set somebody else free? If you got anything out of this video, a nugget of goodness or wisdom, share it, pass it on, tell me. I would love to hear it. And also, I just want to say thank you to everyone who has reached out to me, email, text message, voice memos, to take the time to tell me how something resonated with you and how it impacted you. That means a lot, and it helps me to know I'm on the right track and encourages me to continue this work of love, because I am here for you. So with that, I am going to close out and say, as always, I remain your host, Melinda Dawn, but unapologetically yours. Have a great weekend, y'all. Bye.